Hello everybody, today we watched the Sleepaway Camp Trilogy. So Aiden, what is the plot of Sleepaway Camp 1?
The Sleepaway Camp 1 is a movie capitalizing on the popularity of Friday the 13th. It takes place at a summer camp. A bunch of counselors and camp members all start getting killed. Of course, it's all the ones who like sex and drugs and drinking and partying. It's the bad ones.
Well, there was also the child molester.
The child molester.
You can't forget the child molester.
Classic character, the child molester.
It's a new slasher trope, the child molester.
Yeah, he pulls off his belt in front of a little girl and says, "I want you to
fuck
suck my wiener."
Yeah. I think I got something you're gonna like real good.
And then he gets boiling water dumped on him and dies.
Yep, that's right.
And, spoilers for a 40-year-old movie. Turns out that the killer was Angela, the little girl, but it also turns out that Angela used to be Peter.
How can it be? God, she's a boy.
And Angela is a trans person.
Transsexual.
A trans person.
Not transvestite? Is that what it is?
Trans person.
Is that what it is when they go through with the trans? Well, she hasn't transed. Is she just a transsexual because she still has a
No,
penis?
transsexual is if you transition. She's a transgender.
So if I identify as a woman, I'm a trans.
You're a transgender. No, you're a transsexual if you get surgery.
So she's a
Because
transgender.
According the idea is that
I know this when I'm sober.
Sex,
just for the
sex
audience.
is the biological part, and gender is the brain part. So if you don't get surgery, you're transgender. If you do get surgery, you're transsexual.
Okay, so she's a transgender.
Yes, because she still has a wiener in this
But
one.
forcefully transgender.
Yes, not by choice.
She
was brainwashed
into
into
Ed
it.
Gein.
Yes, kind of like Ed Gein. She was brainwashed into it. Well,
Ed Gein wasn't really. Whatever.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yes, that's the plot. It's about a little transgender girl who murders like 500 people because they have sex and do drugs, just like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
So Connor, what did you think of Sleepaway Camp 1?
I thought it was. You see kills. The kills aren't particularly great. They're fine.
The B one is so stupid.
The main thing about the plot is like, they wanted to Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th 1, Pamela Voorhees. We have somewhat of a twist, so it's like, who's the killer? It's a kind of a whodunit. The original Friday the 13th, and then whoops, the girl has a werewolf body. She doesn't look anything like a human being.
Yeah, they made a mask of her face and put it on some 6'4" guy.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden she
wiener.
gains like 1.5 feet and turns into a naked, bulky man.
Yeah, I mean,
I do appreciate this is the only
kills
time.
weren't that good because this is pretty low budget, even compared to the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Halloween.
Oh, the original Nightmare on
Friday
Elm
the
Street has
13th.
amazing kills.
They all do, but the thing is, I mean, obviously they improved as time goes on. They join this cultural zeitgeist. You know, the kills are not that good, but you also have the issue of the fact that the movie doesn't have that much of a plot. The main plot is Angela's an outcast, and every scene is it's scene after scene of Angela gets bullied.
What's the matter? Can't you talk? I told you she was playing with half a deck. Angela the nutcake. Ain't that right, Angela? Ain't you Looney Tunes?
And then once in a while they toss in, well, this person bullies her so bad she kills them. So it's obvious, like, who else could it be but Angela as the killer? Or maybe she's the final survivor.
They try to use her cousin, who's always jumping to her defense, and he makes, like, vague statements like, I'm gonna get them back for what they did to you, to make him a red herring, but there's really no other red herrings in the
Right,
in
and
the
if
movie.
we think of it logically, I mean, maybe the creepy old cook.
Well,
Or not the cook. Not the cook. The fucking creepy old man who's going to go on a date with one of the camp counselors.
Well, yeah, the count.
He got just because his vibe is
But
that
the thing about the
creepy
counselor,
old man archetype.
the counselor, the entire time, the counselor's trying to cover his ass and hide the murders, and the only time they even make him remotely.
Oh,
a
I'm not
red
talking
herring-
about the owner. I'm talking about the one that was going to fuck the other counselor who ends up dying.
Yeah, that's the owner.
Oh.
That old guy. Yeah. The only time the owner is actually turned into a red herring is when he starts beating the cousin. But then immediately after, it's revealed that it's Angela. Like, literally seconds after.
Right.
It's a horrible red herring. So the only logical choices are either the little boy or Angela.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, yeah, those are the only two that get any amount of fucking screen time, but you also have the origin where Angela's dad dies. You pretty much have to be a retard to think that Angela's not the killer, because they don't establish a proper red herring, which is essentially what you need for the story to actually have
mystery.
mystique. She doesn't have the survivor girl feel. Perhaps she's nervous, she's a girl, but I don't know, you always get that.
The really impressive
Vibe.
thing, this is the only 80s slasher movie I've ever seen. It has absolutely no titties, but it does have a penis. I don't know if I've ever seen another 80s slasher movie that has absolutely
Just
no
a penis.
titties.
There's not
that
many 80s
features a
slashers.
penis. I don't know if I've ever seen a
films that
penis
even
in a
have
different...
penis, yeah.
It's unique.
Little
No titties, one penis.
This is a little boy penis. We have the little boy penis.
Yeah, it's a little boy penis.
Am I allowed to say how? We've said
But
the little boy penis a little much.
the little,
dude. YouTube's
well, the
gonna
thing
hit us
is,
with the strike.
the thing is,
The little boy
the
penis.
person
strike.
in the Angela mask at the end of the movie is clearly like some 45-year-old guy. They're like
old man penis.
6'4" and jacked, and they're like standing there with a tiny little wiener in an Angela mask.
Yeah.
It's very clearly.
And then it's a hard close up on Angela without a shirt. Yeah, honestly, I didn't like it. Aiden, what did you think of Sleepaway Camp?
It's really generic. I mean, what you got? You got this generic camp slasher thing. The only thing that makes it stand out is the twist, where unlike Friday the 13th, they don't show the killer throughout the movie. They hide it. But that also limits what they can do with kills. Like, every kill is just someone gets stabbed with a knife, someone gets stabbed with a knife somewhere else. The only creative one is the really fucking stupid one where she drops a beehive in a bathroom and the guy gets stung to death.
What the hell are you doing? Hey, get that thing out of here! Come on, get it out! Come on, get it out! What the hell are you doing? Come on, get it out! No, no, no! Oh, God, get away from me! Get away!
That one's just stupid. That's not how bees work. And then every single one after that is just she stabs them to death.
Yeah.
But you only see her harm because they have to preserve the twist. the whole movie just builds up to the twist, and the twist is that she's a tranny.
Why
There's nothing else to it. There's no, like...
Why does summer camp of all things
It's not even...
provoke the slasher vibe? Tell me this. Is it just that it wants to be a rip-off of Friday the 13th, or is there something legitimate scary about summer camp?
The thing about
I
summer
did watch...
camp,
I remember as a kid I watched Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th at summer camp.
the thing about summer
Which
camp...
I thought was pretty cool.
You're,
But anyways.
you're away from home, you're in the woods and relatively isolated, and I guess that's it.
Yeah. I don't think summer camp's that scary, though.
No, not really. For the most part, the movie is very generic. The entire twist is that Angela's a tranny. There's no, like, important part to it.
Transsexual.
Like,
transgender.
The movie, she cuts off a guy's head, and then she makes a weird face and screams, and they look at her and they say, "Oh, she's a man."
She's got.
And
Well,
then
she starts screaming. For like a minute, she's shaking her hands with her little wiener.
and then they
out.
say, "She's a man," and it goes to credits. The twist is that she's a transgender, and there's nothing else to it.
This is true.
There's nothing else to it. There's no...
This is also true.
That's the twist. It's just transgenderism was shocking back then, and that's the twist.
Yep.
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 So, Connor, do you recommend Sleepaway Camp?
Maybe it's like a curiosity for people who like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Personally, I do like those things. I rated this a 1.5 on Letterboxd. So I'd put it on the lower end of those films, but if you've seen all of like the core series slasher films, this is in the same vein, perhaps with a smaller budget. But as an actual film, if you actually aren't a fan of those and you don't care about movies, you absolutely will not give a shit about this. It's not completely unwatchable, but it's not good. So Aiden, would you recommend Sleepaway Camp?
Mostly no. It's an interesting little piece of horror history. So I guess horror movie fans would probably maybe
I don't even
kind
know
of
how
enjoy it. But
impactful it is to horror history.
it's not very good.
I would argue it follows the trend of.
Yeah.
It's like a C tier version. Like if Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street are B tier and Halloween is A tier.
Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is definitely S tier.
No, I'm not talking about ranking wise. I'm talking about culture. If the cultural zeitgeist is Halloween is S tier, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street is A tier, this is C tier. If we're talking slasher genre. No, if we're talking about cultural impact, D tier. This is like not. I would say C tier because you got like the. I'd say B tier actually if we're looking at this feat, because then you have the D tiers which are like. I don't know what a C tier is. I think it works better as like an A through F tier, because you got the A tier which is Halloween. B tier, I guess like Halloween and Psycho. B tier which is like. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. And then you got like Leprechaun and stuff. Leprechaun, basically. Then you got Sleepaway Camp and.
Have you seen Trick
like
or Treat?
Night Between Christmas. But then there's Silent Night, Deadly Night. Then you got the little like I made a slasher movie films. I want to make a shit horror movie where I dress up as a baby and grease up.
Continuing the series, we watched Sleepaway Camp 2. Connor, what is the plot of Sleepaway Camp 2?
Where the hell are you? Right here. That's what you get for not obeying your counselor. And here's what you get for telling evil stories and having such a filthy mouth. What a bad camper.
Angela's back.
Oh, wait. Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers.
Angela's back and she kills people at summer camp. So Aiden, what did you think of Sleepaway Camp 2 Unhappy Campers?
Sleepaway Camp 2 is fucking terrible. Sleepaway Camp 2 has literally no plot. Angela is now a camp counselor at a different summer camp. She still goes by the name Angela. She doesn't hide her identity in the slightest. And
She just kills
there's like 10 minutes of setup where it's just like, this is what the camp is like, and here's all the characters. And then the next 60 minutes of the movie, which is the entirety of it, is just Angela fucking running around the woods.
Yep.
She finds someone having sex, drinking, or doing drugs, or swearing.
Get out of here!
And then she murders them.
But you also screwed up your sisters. Let this be a lesson to you. Say no to drugs.
And then the next scene, she finds another person who's having sex, drinking, smoking, or swearing, and murders them.
Well,
and
then
that
at the
continues
end,
until the very end.
Black girl finds her out.
That continues until the very end, until she gets found out by some girl and then murks her. And then while she's murking that girl, another girl walks in and she murks her. And then the camp counselor's like, you've sent everyone home. They're not dead. They're just sent home. We completely trust you. You're fired. And then the main girl and her boyfriend go up to the cabin. She murders the main boyfriend guy and then pushes the girl off a cliff. And then she escapes in a pickup truck. She kills the girl who has the pickup truck and then drives it back to the camp for no reason after having killed everyone and thinking that the main girl is dead. And then she pulls up to the main girl who's not dead and says, "Howdy, want to ride?" and kills her. The whole movie is just an excuse for Angela to kill people. And the kills are moderately better than the first movie. Not a whole lot, but they're moderately better.
Yeah.
They have a little more going on where she'll do some wacky shit. This movie's really weird tonally because there's like weird slapstick moments. Like after she gets found out by the black girl, she wanders around the room trying to find something to kill her with, and she like picks up the radio and she's like, "Is this heavy enough to kill her with?" And she's like looking at like everything, and she just strangles her. It's like, it's so weird. It's a movie that has literally no plot. It is just kills. Front to end, it's just Angela goes around killing all these people. There's no plot, there's no anything to it. It's just an excuse for Angela to wander around the woods murdering people. That's it. That's the whole thing. There's literally nothing to this movie. There is no substance at all. Except... No, there's no substance. There's no substance.
That's it,
There's
yeah.
the only difference between... There's titties in this movie, which is based.
All sorts of titties.
The titties make the movie a little more bearable because there's nothing else going on. Literally the only scene that's any different from anything else is the scene where she pushes the slutty cheerleader girl into the outhouse poopy hole, and she gets eaten by leeches that are in the outhouse poopy for some
They're
reason.
eating the poopy.
You pissed away your good looks and God-given talent your whole life and turned it into nothing but a cynical, dirty-mouthed waste of flesh. What else is down there?
I don't know.
Well, then I guess you're just gonna have to climb in and find out. Leeches, Allie, for a leech like you.
The outhouse
They're
doesn't
living
connect
off
to
of
anything, it's just a
poopy.
deep hole filled with poopy. Why are there leeches in there? Did
Because of the
Angela
poopy.
put leeches in the
In
poopy?
Did Angela? That is a good question. Did Angela
How did they
put
get there?
leeches in the poopy?
Did there just happen to be leeches in the poopy somehow? Did someone poop a leech out and it just bred? Like, I don't know what the deal is. It
No, they
doesn't
pooped
make
a
sense.
male and a female leech
And she-
out, and then those two leeches
She
fell
takes
in
a
love.
stick. It's like
Those
those.
two leeches fell in love.
It's like those videos of fucking Chinese people where they'll put like a live dog in the pot and keep smacking it with a stick so it stays in while
Yeah.
it dies slowly.
My favorite type of video.
Where she's just bonking the slutty cheerleader in the head with a stick to drown her in the poopy. It's fucking.
drowns you in the poopy. It's very important.
It's such a stupid movie. It's
See, you don't
literally.
understand.
there is
Angela's
literally-
goal is to drown the girl in the poopy.
There is literally no plot.
The
in this
poopy.
movie.
Okay, here's a piece of plot. The poopy room is set up early on because the final survivor girl who dies at the end says, "What's in this room?" And Angela says, "Well, I can't. The room is locked, and I've never been in there myself. Matter of fact." But it turns out that room, once you open the door, there's a toilet, and in that toilet is the leeches and the poopy.
There's literally no
There's
plot.
the poopy.
It's
There's the poopy.
it's back. There's literally no plot to this movie. Connor, what did you think of Sleepaway Camp 2?
There's the poopy. So, Aiden, would you recommend this movie?
No. Connor, would you recommend this movie?
Certainly not. So today, we also watched the third Sleepaway Camp 3. And we're making it, we're
What's the sub?
watching the trilogy.
The subtitle.
Mr. Man eats the poopy.
There's an important thing to note.
The poopy man.
In the first movie, Angela's played by some fucking nobody.
But
In
this
the-
is Eric Clapton's daughter.
No. In the second movie, Bruce Springsteen's sister plays Angela.
So not Eric Clapton.
Not Eric Clapton. It's Bruce Springsteen.
And it's his sister, not his daughter.
It's his sister, not his daughter.
Okay.
And Sleepaway Camp 3 is called Sleepaway Camp 3 Teenage Wasteland and also stars Bruce Springsteen's
American
sister.
Wasteland for PS. Teenage killing.
Teenage
American
Wasteland.
Western
Teenage
lands.
Wasteland!
American Waste.
Teenage
Wasteland by
Wasteland.
Tony Hawk. So Aiden, what's the plot of this damn movie, Teenage Wasteland by Tony Hawk?
For some reason, this camp where like 500 people were murdered, there's like a thing where they get a bunch of rich kids and a bunch of poor kids to go to a summer camp together, and there's like a television broadcast of it at first, but then not later. And Angela runs a girl over with a truck so that she can sneak back into the camp.
Well, she cuts her hair off.
And the guy, the boyfriend guy from the second movie, his dad is there because his dad is a cop. So Angela sneaks back in, and the entire plot of the movie, there's these rich people and poor people, and they all have sex and do drugs and they're bad people, and there's like 5 black people that are all really hood, and the rich characters all drop the hard
RN.
the hard RN word on them. They're like, I really
Beautiful.
hate being around those N words. They're all evil and mean. Yep, and then she kills them all. So Connor, what did you think of Sleepaway Camp 3 Teenage Wasteland?
I point at camera. Play clip of man from Forged in Fire saying, "It kills."
That, sir, is a killer. It's a killer. It will kill. It will kill. This will kill. This will kill. It's a killer. It will kill. Jamie, it will kill. It'll kill.
So Aiden, would you recommend this clip of Forged in Fire where the Asian guy stabs the plastic and
Yes,
says,
I'd recommend Forged in Fire. Anyway, what did you think of Sleepaway Camp 3?
Forged in Fire is a TV show on the History Channel starring
Sleepaway.
an Asian man who cuts the putty. He cuts the putty with
What
the
did you
blade.
think of Sleepaway Camp 3?
Oh yeah, Sleepaway Camp 3 is shit. So Aiden, would you recommend Sleepaway Camp 3? Okay, wait. Sleepaway Camp 3, much like Sleepaway Camp 2, relies too much on the kills. They kill. Angela's back, of course, because apparently they can't keep their fucking little tingy fingers on this little bitch. I honestly, if I saw Eric Clapton's sister in real life, I'd smack the shit out of her. And not in a domestic abuse way, but to keep the camp counselor safe. Oh, here. Fuck the bitch. That's what I think. I think the movie sucks ass. I think it's stupid and it has no plot, just like the third one. The second one. And the problem with the third one is for the first 5 minutes they set it up like there's some level of competent filmmaking, and then the guy just forgets and it just becomes the same shit.
Sleepaway Camp 3 starts out with promise because it has like characters.
It has an actual
and it pretends it's going to have a
introduce
plot.
the character and you're like, that's not really how you should.
And it has like a framing device and has characters and a plot, and then all of a sudden it just becomes the Angela kills more people show and nothing else.
There's no reason for
There's
these
no
movies
plot.
to damn exist. They're awful. But Aiden, would you recommend Sleepaway Camp 3?
No. Would you?
Look at my eyes. Are they straight right now?
No.
No, just like Aiden's answer, no, I would not. Because the thing about Angela is she's a stupid bitch and I'd suck her little lady penis until it comes all over my face.
So anyway, on a little tangent.
That's just so many things have to get cut out of this video.
On a little tangent, we tried to find Sleepaway Camp 4 and 5. There's an interesting history to them, where 4 was filmed in like 1993.
Probably filmed in Montreal.
And the company that was filming it went bankrupt like a third of the way through. And so that got shelved. And then in 2003, the guy who made the first movie made a sequel that ignores 2 and 3 called Return to Sleepaway Camp, and it brings back the original Angela.
And she's an old ass bitch.
And it was filmed in 2003, but it was delayed and didn't come out until 2008 because no one wanted to release it. So that came out. But then in 2012, Amazon Prime took the footage that was shot for Sleepaway Camp 4 in 1993, and in 2012 they used a bunch of footage from the first 3 movies as a clip show to stitch it together into a real movie. Right? So we were going to watch all 5 of these for this little video, but as it turns out, Sleepaway Camp 4 and 5 are both... Can you stop?
I'm trying to lip sync you.
Sleepaway Camp 4 and 5 are both borderline
No one's
lost.
gonna know who's actually talking.
Sleepaway Camp 4 and 5 are both borderline lost media.
Yes, this is true.
Return to Sleepaway Camp, which is technically the 5th movie that came out before the 4th one, used to be on Shudder. It used to be on Tubi.
It
used to be on Amazon Prime. It's not on any of those anymore. And the Return to Sleepaway Camp DVD costs $60.
So here's your options, guys. Either you can seed the Pirate Bay.
Yes, we looked on Pirate Bay. Return to Sleepaway Camp has 2 leechers and 1 cedar, which means it would take like
1,600 years.
It'd take like 70 days minimum.
The equivalent of the time that it would take to free.
And
the
Return
United
to
States.
Sleepaway Camp is only available in the Fantastic Revolution of like 533 by 460 or something.
This is true.
So yeah, Return to Sleepaway Camp is borderline lost media. And then there's Sleepaway Camp 4, which similarly, Sleepaway Camp 4 was apparently released on DVD according to what I've read, but was also on Amazon Prime for a while. But it got taken off Amazon Prime. It's never been on anything else. And my eBay searches didn't find any Sleepaway Camp 4 on DVD. So, Sleepaway Camp 4 and 5 are borderline lost media. So, we're not going to review them because we can't watch them.
And I don't know if it's worth watching them. I think that's worth pointing out. Based on the fact that not a single movie in this franchise is even close to worth watching, I don't think 4 and 5 are really going to redeem the saga. And I don't think the fact that they lost media really affects my life. I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
4 is literally a clip show, too, which does not help the argument.
No, it's 2 and 3 stitched together with 10 minutes of footage they shot.
Yeah.
Elsewhere.
Anyway, that's the Sleepaway Camp series. It's mostly bad. Do you have any final thoughts?
Honestly, when it comes to Sleepaway Camp series as available, so it's 1, 2, and 3. 1 is maybe worth watching as if you're a fan of 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s slasher films. And 2 and 3 they don't add anything. See, you watch things like Halloween and Friday the 13th, the later entries, where Jason becomes a slugger, Michael Myers is like a satanic bullshit. And you're like, why would they do that? And the reason you do that is because there's only so much you can do. Sleepaway Camp keeps at its core the whole time. All 3 films keep at its very low budget. Low budget compared to early Friday the 13th and Halloween, which is low budget. And the issue is, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And, I watched a lot of movies and said, this has no substance. But that's doubly true with these Sleepaway Camp movies, because they don't even bother. I don't think anyone bothered. I don't think it mattered if there was substance. It was like a schlockier version. It makes Friday the 13th look like Citizen Kane-esque amount of caring about substance.
Yeah.
And deepness. It's just, look at this little girl's penis. That's the substance for the whole series. And the rest is built on that.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's not much to build off of. So, Aiden, what are your final thoughts on this series of Sleepaway Cabin?
The weird thing, the entire crux of the first movie is that Angela's a tran, and then the second movie mentions it for maybe 15 seconds, and the third movie doesn't bring it up at all. It's basically just a dropped plot point after the first movie.
Right. And I do want to point out that Sleepaway Camp 1 almost has a plot.
It does have a plot.
Angela's an awkward and shy girl, and it turns out she's a transsexual serial killer.
Yes.
That's enough of a plot. In the sequels, Angela is at camp again and she kills people. There's a lot less of a plot. There's a lot less to that Angela's a serial killer and kills people than Angela's a transsexual shy girl, and the girl we at least follow. There's no protagonist.
No, we follow Angela.
Camp 2 or 3.
In 2 and 3, we kind of follow Angela.
We kind of.
And she just
but
kills
there's
people.
No plot development. It's more like scene established with character we don't know or care about.
There's no twist
and then
or
they
mystery.
do something that's bad according to slasher films, like having sex or drinking. And then Angela decides, as his character Boogeyman, the characterless wonder, kill. You know, and it doesn't take much work to say, what is Angela doing this mission for? What is Angela doing this mission for? She's a crazy, messed up child in the first movie because her aunt made her become a boy. She's a forced transsexual. But in the second and third movie, her only characteristic is she's a good girl who likes camp, but people who break the rules need to die. But you don't really even see that. That's just inferred. So, really, Angela doesn't have character, so is it fair to call her the protagonist in 2 and 3? I would argue no.
More so than anyone else.
Exactly, but that doesn't mean... But when she doesn't have character, and she's more so the main character than anyone else, then what do we have?
Nothing.
We have nothing but kills. We have nothing but a clip show. You may as well watch this clip compilation that says... Friday the 13th, very cool kills. Movie compilation. And then you see like the 15 kills from Friday the 13th 4, and you're like, wow, that's cool. But it's not cool. I mean, maybe it's cool to watch there, but that's true because you don't have to watch a fucking hour and 30 fucking minutes of filler in between.
Yeah, it's a bad series.
Yeah, it's a bad series. I think 4 is a clip show. I don't know what clips you're cherry picking to make that movie good. You have like 20 minutes of new footage, and then everything else is clip show. So I don't know how 4 would be good. I'm not really sad we missed 4. Return to Sleepaway Camp. Sleepaway Camp. I'm not sad about missing it either. Truth be told, who cares? What are the... Is it the gritty reboot?
It is the gritty 2008 reboot that's full
Not even
of terrible CGI.
Did the 2008 reboot series, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th, etc., they didn't really do anything new. They just shot it with new cameras and made little jump scares.
Yes.
The advent of better audio engineering, it's easier to ramp the sound up to 1 trillion and blow your fucking eardrums out. Honestly, Friday the 13th, though, it's just shaky cam. Michael Bay's like, check the camera harder so people can't see that we're cheap about it. That was the whole movie.
No, they're on a marijuana
like, he kills
farm.
the marijuana. Michael Bay's like, he kills the... They're like, hey, Michael Bay, we need some plot ideas. And then Michael Bay comes in the boardroom and he says, he kills the marijuana. And Jason Moyers is mad at the marijuana. And they were like, wow, that's a great idea. And he's like, shaky cam, you ever see the Blair Witch Project? And then Michael Bay starts sucking his own penis. He's like... And then he comes in his own mouth and squirts it across every member of the boardroom, and he says they like the marijuana.
Anyway, that was
that was our sleepy camp and
that was
camp.
Sleepaway Camp series retrospective. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, follow Connor on Letterboxd. Follow us on Twitter.
Connie420 at letterboxd.com.
Follow me on LinkedIn.
CONNY420 on Letterboxd. That's actually my username, so please follow me.
Add me to your top 10 on MySpace.
I have 18 followers on Letterboxd, so I'm pretty much famous on there because...
Add me to your Armor Games friend list.
I don't know
your Newgrounds favorite.
Join me online to play Bush Shootout on Armor Games. Mini Clip. Join me on Mini Clip. I was never an Armor Games fan as much as I was... Armor Games and Mini Clip are pretty much neck and neck, honestly. I don't know why... I hear a lot of game about Armor Games, but Mini Clip kind of gets slept on.